planet. What is it? It's essentially a sanctuary for all life, which is why we started a magazine called Sanctuary 38 years ago with children who've now grown up and speak 10 times better than I do about a world that is still in a lot of trouble, but a world that is nevertheless utterly beautiful. Attitudes is what it's all about. Look at this planet. Everything on this planet amounts to a conspiracy for life. Every single living minute on this planet, all that life is doing is making sure that life can continue. This is the heart of it all. This is why all the way back, thousands of years, people worship the sources of every single river that you might have fought. Every single river in India, it was worshipped. It might have been an assemblage of stones, because water is life. That water that flows down the Himalaya, it's not just water, it snatches oxygen from the air, it takes minerals from the soil, and it takes carbon from the atmosphere to make the plants without which we can't possibly live. There's a huge misunderstanding, a huge one. People think that protecting those elephants is some kind of animal welfare issue. It's not animal, maybe it is, because we're the animals. Those guys are the gardeners of our Eden. They know how to manage this planet. We are the new, very intelligent primates on Earth. We're not necessarily the smartest, because intelligence is not it, strength is not it, adaptability is it. Instead of adapting to the environment, what we've started to do is to make the environment adapt to us. That's an attitude of power. Nature will give us no judgments. It will only give us consequences. So if we find that our attitudes are not going to be in tune, not in flow with nature, at some point or the other, the consequences will come and hit us. And those consequences are the ones we see. All is not well with the planet today, but all can be well with the planet today. We have a problem. That problem essentially is that in trying to improve this exquisite perfection that we've been born into, we're like monkeys with a hammer trying to edit Shakespeare. And that's not quite going to work. The evidence that we see around us, climate change, everybody knows about climate change today. Climate change isn't the disease, climate change is the symptom of the disease. And that disease is that we think we can do better than what nature has done. Darwin had said this long ago, it's not your strength, it's not your intelligence, it's your adaptability. If we now learn to adapt with nature, look at this guy. He's sitting there actually employed to do sand mining. And somebody far away wants that sand to make cement, to make homes. But at the end of the day, without that sand, that river is not going to be able to control the water flows that go down. The creatures, the gardeners of Eden that live in that river might not quite be able to manage to do the phenomenal service that we tend to take for granted. And look, our attitude is not allowing us to accept or be humble enough to understand. That's adding to the problem. Look at that picture there. I don't want too much for my children. I want that my children, when they breathe, it shouldn't hurt their lungs. When they drink water, it shouldn't poison them. When they drink food, it should give them nutrition. Into all this rigmarole comes this other wonderful human attitude called greed. We want more, then we want more, and we want more. And what we're trying to tell children today, we run a program called Kids for Tigers. Tiger being just a metaphor for all of nature. And what we tell children is simple enough. We say, look, it is possible for us to actually live in paradise, the paradise we had, but not if you do things like this. The illegal wildlife trade today is the third largest illegal trade in the world after arms and narcotics, and possibly competing with human trafficking. We have to change this. We have to change this. And we are not going to be able to change this without a change in our attitude. The good news is, for the kids in this room and for the kids out there, the planet repairs itself. Completely, absolutely. The same way a cut on your elbow or a graze fixes itself, the planet actually does repair itself. It's its own patient, it's its own doctor. If I had to pass on one message to the next generation, I would say this: trust nature, change your attitude, don't try to refashion it after yourself, because you're not experienced enough. Wait another couple of million years and maybe we'd be nearly as efficient as the elephants you saw. And then we have the tiger. It is part of my life. It has always been a part of my life, I think. In India, they call this tiger Pattedar Pani Ka Devta, which means striped water god. The forest in which it lives, they call it like the mother of all rivers. Jungle Nadi ki maa hai, they say. And everything works around that. Laws of the jungle stay the same. You either eat or you're eaten. So that deer must run just fast enough to avoid it, but not so fast that the tiger dies, because the tiger needs to eat. And everything was in balance, every single thing. When we launched Project Tiger in 1973, at that point we said, do nothing to the forest and allow nothing to be done, and just keep that thing and let nature work its own magic around itself. And we succeeded. By the 80s, the whole world said Project Tiger was the most successful conservation project in the world. And it was a ridiculously small sum of money that was invested in it. What we did was we said to nature, you do all the work. Look at that dung beetle. The truth is, nothing on this planet goes to waste. If you need to really, really look at how we live in the city, just understand, why should anything go to waste? Even when you have an elephant that drops a huge pile of dung, the beetles are coming around saying, buffet, breakfast, everything. We are the only species on Earth that have the technology to waste. And that is something that should be, in a sense, quite reassuring. Well, there's a problem again, as I said, but there's a solution, and that solution is that nature needs half. We have to return this planet to nature, half of it. The other half of it, it'll feed us. Whether it's the oceans or whether it's the land, the fact is that nature is in fact fighting back. As that woodcutter is coming through the forest, the butterfly is coming and planting. As we keep on reclaiming parts of our cities, sponges are coming back. In Mumbai, we've seen seahorses. We've seen all manner of life fighting to come back. So there's a conspiracy for life, but we can't be the guys that go and break the rules. Now, if you take a city like Mumbai, we've got free-ranging leopards. You can fit 37 and a half Central Parks inside our one Sanjay Gandhi National Park. It's a fantastic forest, and it supplies us with that magic thing that we all need. It's called water. Every single creature on this planet has a purpose. Every feather has a purpose. It's not there just for decoration. It's there because it has a purpose. It has utility. That utility is what we see, and we say it's so aesthetic. The aesthetics of utility is what life is about. You see those tiny dots up there? They're elephants. That's the kind of space we need to give them. We can't tell the elephants, okay, we'll give you a 12 by 12. You've got 6 foot wide body, that should be enough. You can't do that. The only ape we have in India, the hulak gibbon, what it does is it takes fruit from one side and plants on the other. There's no creature on earth that leaves less for its children than its parents gave it. There is one, of course, called Homo sapiens. That's why we work with children, and we tell children that the turtles are not just beautiful creatures, they're the cleaners of the ocean. We basically want them to go back to the future so that they can survive the mismanagement of the planet that my generation is inflicting on them. Live in India. In India, everybody worshipped not just the sources of water, they worshipped even the tiger, they worshipped everything. And we look at it and we say, it's beautiful. The butterflies used to be called flutterbys, and my heart still goes aflutter when I see them. But at the end of the day, here's the truth. I met the Dalai Lama a long time ago, and he said, for all the troubles in the world, for all the cares in the world, it's your duty to be happy. So children, listen, let me tell you this, clear, plain, simple. There is a good reason to worship nature. Children can make a huge difference. Everything we do in your name, from prime ministers to everybody else. Look at those faces. There's innocence and there's the absence of cynicism. So kids, get up, remind adults whose world it is, tell them in the best possible way That all I want from you is a planet that I love. I want from you the peace of knowing that this beautiful world, little blue marble, will actually survive so that not just me, but my children will be able to live on this exquisite planet. Thank you very much. That's the only answer that I have.